Good afternoon to you all, and welcome to day one of our series of 5 apprenticeship broadcasts, which will be taking place this week to mark Apprenticeship Week. I'm Fiona Marriage and I work within the Apprenticeship Hub at Essex County Council. Today we're going to focus on manufacturing and engineering, which is a huge industry in Essex, bringing £3.9 billion to the economy and 55,000 jobs. Areas such as aerospace, civil engineering, defence, environmental, agritech and medtech are growing very fast, and they're all experiencing skill shortages. Today we're joined by Heather, Finn, Billy and Cameron, who are apprentices at 2 of the best known engineering companies in Essex, Ford and Teledyne.
Let's start with Heather. Why did you apply for an apprenticeship with Ford instead of going to university?
So I decided to go the apprenticeship route as I wanted to get real world experience while gaining a qualification, partly because I was shocked to learn that you had to pay money to send off the UCAS application, but also the degree offered by Ford is a fully recognised degree, so it's not just a fake apprenticeship degree, and it's also fully paid for by Ford, so I managed to escape the student debt as well.
Thank you. And Finn, can you tell us a little bit about your apprenticeship journey at Ford so far, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually had a bit of a different journey into my apprenticeships. I initially started as an advanced apprentice. However, I wasn't the first choice. There was 20 places. I actually was 21st. So it actually happened that someone didn't get their GCSE grades and I had got mine previously. And so I managed to backfill the space. So after 4 years of going to college and working 4 days a week, 5 days a week at Ford, I then managed to apply to the higher apprenticeship scheme internally, which was also open to external applicants. I did quite well in that, and then I managed to get into the higher apprenticeship. So I'm now in my 3rd year of my degree course and higher scheme.
Heather, what does a typical day look like for you at Ford? I'm assuming you're based at Dunton.
Yeah, so I'm at Dunton 3 days a week, and then the rest of the time, like today, I'm at home. So I'm in IT, so I complement Finn's area in engineering. So in IT, we get to do loads of different roles, from networking, which will support the engineering manufacturing lines, and what I do, which is working in IT on the European Ford websites. So my job is an architect, which just means I check that the buttons do what they're supposed to on the website. Each day I meet with different stakeholders. They're based across the globe, so that's quite good that I get a varied sort of group of people who I'm meeting. Then I design the technical solutions to make sure that any new designs for new features will work like they should, like a wish list. So that's something we've recently launched, so you can have a wish list of cars you'd like to buy on the website. As part of that, I make decisions on technology we use and if there's any improvements to the journey. So since day one, from when I started my apprenticeship, I've been fully involved in all the jobs which I've done. So it's not a case of apprentices coming in and making the tea and making meeting notes. We are doing proper jobs and getting fully involved.
Sounds like you've got your own projects to run too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Finn, if you could pass on one piece of advice to young people applying for an apprenticeship, what would it be?
I guess really the main piece of advice is really to respect the work and uni balance that presents itself in the higher apprenticeship schemes. It's really easy to get focused with just the uni work or just the actual workplace work, whatever it may be. It's really important to kind of give it equal weighting in its importance, because if you don't pass uni, you won't have the job at the end of it, and if you don't excel at work, then it's less likely that you're going to get a job that you like at the end of it. So that would be my key piece of advice, but also enjoy it.
Brilliant. Yeah, that is important to enjoy.
We're now going to hand over to Cameron, Billy and Kian, who are all apprentices at Teledyne E2V, which is a technology company in Chelmsford that designs and manufactures specialist systems for aerospace, defence and medical industries. The products that they are working on include high performance imaging sensors, power management solutions and custom microelectronics. and they design and engineer leading products which are used in radiotherapy and radar. So Kian, what first sparked your interest in engineering?
So for me, it all really started in years 5 and 6. My primary school were lucky enough to get visits from external companies to take part in STEM activities, so science, technology, engineering and maths. One of them was to create a frame and a mechanism for a motor for a small car, and then the other one was to create a elastic band powered wind-up boat. Not only did I really enjoy the challenges, but I came second with my boat, and I came first with my 4-wheel drive car. Since then, I followed the career path through GCSEs and A-levels, but it's actually really great experience at E2V, as we run a scheme that means that all apprentices have the opportunity to create our own schools challenge and visit schools around Chelmsford. My year created an earthquake simulation table for children to build models on and see how long they can last. We taught them the basics about strength of shapes within engineering and how a high or low centre of gravity affects the strength of a structure. All the kids loved the challenge, and I hope some of them will follow the same path as I did and get inspired to choose engineering as a career.
So do you think, had you not attended that STEM day in school, things might have gone a different way for you?
I reckon they would have done.
Yes.
I love winning, and the fact that I came top 3 in both the challenges just meant that I knew that was something that I really enjoyed doing and wanted to carry on with.
Fantastic, well done. So how does the on-the-job training compare to traditional classroom learning? What's it like?
To me, it actually doesn't really even compare. They're hard to compare completely. Every skill I learn in the workplace is one that I can continue to apply literally every day, so I'm only getting taught useful things. The knowledge is fascinating completely, and it's extremely varied. Like no 2 days are the same. Like you won't be learning the same thing for more than a day most times, especially working in an environment like E2V. We have so many different departments, products and processes. It's all so interesting, well, being appropriate to my future. Most of the time I don't even realise that I'm learning valuable information and skills literally every day. Sometimes it literally can feel like a hobby rather than learning in a classroom.
So for someone that wants to continue learning but not be in the classroom full time, the apprenticeship route really is a good way to go, isn't it?
100%, yeah. For me, obviously you're literally in education for years and years, and sometimes you just want to get out. Uni can be a little bit full on, but on the job learning, you really don't feel like you're doing it. Yeah, they're barely comparable.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cameron, what have been some of the biggest challenges you have faced during your apprenticeship, and how have you overcome them?
So I'd have to say that one of the biggest challenges that I faced over my time in the apprenticeship was progressing from the level 3 scheme onto the degree scheme. So this is only an opportunity that presents itself to the people that go like above and beyond and really try their hardest during their apprenticeship. And it means that I've had to work hard over the last 3 years. So I had to achieve my qualification a year early for my level 3, which was a very tough challenge, and it was very draining. However, it allows you to achieve your goals and develop your skills along the way. And to me, this is a challenge worth facing, and a challenge that I think everyone else should face. Otherwise, you won't really see your true potential. So,
Excellent. Yeah, that's really good. How do you balance the hands-on training aspect of your apprenticeship with the classroom or online learning component?
So balancing your hands-on training with your classroom training can be quite challenging, but it can be done by setting clear goals and priorities, and like staying organised, communicating effectively with your lecturers and mentors. One strategy you could do is create a schedule. It allows specific times for hands-on training, your classroom training and studying. And this can help ensure that you're making progress in all areas, and then you're not neglecting other areas at the same time. Additionally, it's important to be flexible and adjust your approach where needed. For example, if you find that if you're struggling with your hands-on training, you should like ask for help and speak out a little bit more instead of just letting it swallow you all up, because otherwise you're not going to get any help at all. But I think it's important to remember that learning is not a linear process, and that you'll have setbacks and struggles. So you've got to be kind to yourself and keep motivated throughout.
That's brilliant. And is it hard to keep yourself motivated?
I feel like it's some uni assignments that come through they can make it hard to stay motivated, but it's not going to last forever. So you might as well just give it a crack and make sure that you're staying on top of it all.
Thanks. Back to you, Fiona.
Could you give us an example, please, of a project that you've worked on during your apprenticeship and the skills you've developed as a result of that project?
So during the apprenticeship here at Teledyne, We go through rotational placements around the company that take about 3 months. And during that process, you see loads of different areas of engineering, different disciplines. So you'll work on tons of small projects. Once you send them to your final placement, you get to tackle larger projects. And my favorite one so far has been my PLC test rig, which was a sort of medium-sized structured device that simulates some of the test equipment that we have around site to test product. The idea being it's PLC controlled, it has similar components, so it would help as a maintenance training tool as well as an apprentice training tool. The approach was delivered in the spec, mechanically designed the entire thing, built it in our in-house workshop, wired the full device, which involved a few new skills, so wiring, soldering, looking at PLC logic, so using GXWorks and ladder logic. And I feel like that was a new experience for me, so it was a really good opportunity to learn skills that I wouldn't necessarily have encountered without tackling it.
And how long did that project last for, Billy?
It was about 3 to 4 months, that project, from conception all the way to creation.
Fantastic experience for you then. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so how do you see your apprenticeship leading to future career opportunities within the engineering field? Do you think you'll stay with Teledyne long term, or what are your plans, do you think?
So similarly to Cameron, I joined the high performer scheme, so I finished my level 3 qualification last year and moved on to our higher course, so looking towards level 6 degree. Obviously I'll see through that scheme, so I'm on it for another 4 years to finish off my degree. I've settled into the role of a mechanical design engineer, so I do mechanical design for project-based work to do with test gears and specialised equipment. I'd like to develop my skills to a point where I'm able to lead projects, become more technically minded, a technical expert, and hopefully eventually that will lead into project management.
Fantastic. Thank you, Billy. Very, very clear answers. Thank you all.
I would like to say a huge thank you to you apprentices who took part today. I'm sure that everyone watching has learnt a great deal. These broadcasts will also be available on demand. Contact apprenticeship.hub@essex.gov.uk to ask for a copy. We hope to see you tomorrow for broadcast number 2, which will focus on opportunities in the construction sector.